Welcome to JAR Families Session 5. For this lesson, you will need the following materials. You will need your JA Volunteer Guidebook. You will need the student name tense. You will need the student junior journal packets. You will also need the certificate of achievement. And you will need to be prepared to access the digital presentation for the session found at learn.ja.org. You can work with your classroom teacher to determine whether you or the teacher will be responsible for pulling up the digital presentation each time you visit the classroom. We recommend asking the teacher to have the presentation ready for you if possible. To aid in preparation and facilitation, you'll see in the guidebook blue text boxes, which contain JA of South Dakota session-specific teaching tips, and yellow text boxes that include vocabulary, terms, and presentation content that's not already in the guidebook. Today, when you go in for the lesson, greet students and tell them that in Session 5, a new business, they will be learning about how businesses tell people about their goods or services. The next slideshow shows a picture of the junior journal packet. You will need this later on in the lesson. I recommend handing out the junior journal packets later on so that it doesn't become distracting for the students. Remind students that in the last session, they learned about businesses and jobs. Ask students if anyone knows that if their family owns their own businesses. Students may not understand the difference between owning their own business and working at a business. You may need to create further discussion to help them better understand the difference. From there, ask students if they recognize any of the businesses on the screen. If they do, ask them what goods or services the businesses provide. Let them know that these businesses have well-known family names. Select each to show more information about each of the businesses. Tell the class that you're going to be reviewing the 10 business symbol cards from Session 3. Ask students to describe the symbol, what kind of business it represents, and what good or service it provides for each of the symbols on the screen. Then select them to reveal the correct answers. Just as a reminder, you will have to scroll down to see the bottom card. Next, you're going to tell the class that you have an idea for a new business. Let them know that you've noticed that the families in your neighborhood are having trouble finding someone to care for their small pets when they go out of town on vacation. Tell them that you want to start a pet watching business for small pets. Tell them that you'd like to name the business The Pet Watcher. Ask students what they think of your idea for a new business. Do they think the name is a good name for the business, or should it be called something else? Allow several students to share their ideas with the class. The next slide showcases this session's vocabulary terms. This slide is interactive and provides an opportunity for students to come up and select each vocabulary card to reveal the definition. I recommend asking students to think about how they would define this term before revealing the definition. If you would like to get more students involved, you can have students think about what they believe the definition is, and then share it with a shoulder partner before calling on a student to reveal the answer. For the word advertise, prompt students to think about where they've seen or heard advertising, such as radio, TV, streaming services, and so on. You may want to discuss what businesses have the best advertisements. What makes you remember a specific business? Is it a catchy theme song or tagline? Is it a specific logo they can remember? Consider sharing a favorite advertisement with students that you find memorable and creative. For a new business advertisement activity, students will work to determine the colors they need to complete the picture. Students will need blue, brown, and yellow crayons, colored pencils, or markers to complete this activity. If your classroom does not have enough of these colors for each student, you may consider having each table of students share a set of colors, or you can assign a different color to each of the answers. Students will need to add to figure out which color goes in each part of the puzzle. There are two options for this activity. You can do this as a full class on the board, following along with the slides. You will need to know which part of the puzzle comes next in order to do this on the slideshow. Students would then be able to repeat this activity on their own at the end of the lesson, or they can complete it on their own when they take their junior journals home after this session is completed. The other option for this activity is to have students sit at their desks and work on the worksheet on their own to solve the math problems and color the page. Some students may need assistance with the math portion. You, the teacher, or a student helper can assist as needed. If the students finish coloring their page earlier than other students in the classroom, you could also prompt them to come up with their own business idea and create an advertisement for their business idea using either a blank space on their junior journal packet. They could also use the inside of their table tent, or they could utilize a blank sheet of paper. From here, you will be reviewing, and as a reminder, you can skip through these if you choose not to do the whole class activity by simply navigating at the bottom of the slide. From here, you will review what students have learned over the past 5 sessions, such as the importance of family and businesses to neighborhoods, needs and wants, money, goods and services, working jobs to earn money, how advertising can help a business, and so on. Let students know that they can take home their junior journals now and thank them for letting you be in their classroom. For graduation, work with your teacher to obtain students' first names to fill out the certificates of achievement for your final visit. If you plan to bring something to hand out to the students after the last session, have the item pre-approved by the teacher. As a reminder, most schools are peanut-free and may have other food restrictions, so please check with your classroom teacher prior to bringing anything. For graduation, make this time special. Consider calling the students up one at a time to receive their certificates and have other students provide applause. Teach them to shake your hand properly, aka no limp fish or super squeezers, and shake with the right hand while accepting their certificate with the left. This is good practice for when they meet people for job interviews, as well as their future graduations.